WGG! WGG! WGG!
WXP is our unique XP point that can be used as credit to purchase merchandise on our platform. You can earn WXP by participating in activities such as quests, events, and tournaments on the platform. You can check your task by clicking on your Tasks tab to complete the task and claim a reward. You can check your WXP by clicking on your profile picture at the top right corner. WXP can be used to purchase items on our marketplace at w3gg.io/marketplace. More items will be available in the future. That's not all. Stay tuned for more exciting updates in the future.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Aldrin from WGG. Thank you for attending this week class, or what we call as the workshop seminar for trading. Your first step toward your first trading career. Okay, so welcome everybody. Good evening to everyone, or good morning wherever you are. Um, of course, I want to welcome you to WGG. We are now live again for another session of this trading class. Okay, so I thank you all for your support. I hope you were there when we were live on our previous video actually. So we actually tackled about the introduction to cryptocurrency, introduction to evolution of money, but of course I want to do those recaps. But of course, before we do that, uh, we want to give a shout out to our sponsor for today. I want to give a shout out to WGG for sponsoring this event. We're in, of course, one of the great thing about WGG is it's actually one of the community-driven platform there is. Because one thing for sure with WGG is that even though it is incubating a lot of projects, it never misses to take care of his own community. So if I were you, try to check out WGG. I hope that I'm pretty sure that the link is down there below on the comment. Just check it out. Try to check out WGG. If you don't know about WGG, WGG is actually a Web3 platform wherein we are actually catering to our community. Of course, WGG is the owner of the WGG is the community. At the same time, of course, we want to provide the best NFT and play to earn games to everybody. So actually, the good thing about WGG compared to other Web3 platforms is that we are also focused on Web2. Okay, so because a lot of us know that 5% of the total populations are still no, I mean 95% of the total population are still not educated about crypto or about Web3. So I think the best thing about Ouija is that it is actually driven to onboard Web2 users to Web3. As we all know that the hardest part for everyone is change. So that's why we are having these daily events wherein people can join game nights, people can join AMAs, people can join the podcasts. Or here, like in this event, we are having our week class. Okay, so as we all know that in WIG, it's always we learn, we play, and we earn. Okay, so what does GG implies? Of course, For everyone, to enter Web3, you really need to invest on education, invest on learning. You have to do your own research. At the same time, of course, you have to really understand what is about crypto so that whenever you will be entering any Web3 project, you know what to do. Okay, or if you want to do trading, you're in the right spot. We're in, of course, we are doing the trading class for this session. Okay, so this is actually our second session of week class. So I hope you were there during our first. But if not, it's okay because we will have a recap about the lessons. Okay, or you can check out the previous video and connect it with this one. Okay, so anyways, once again, I'm Coach Aldrin of WeGG. So we are actually providing this week class for free, so you can actually take a stab on it. The very good thing about trading nowadays is that the information is there. You can do your own research already, and mostly education is free for trading. And like before, during my time way back 2018, 2017, education about trading or learnings about trading is not actually free, or it's not readily accessible. So one good thing about nowadays is that the trading lessons are usually free. At the same time, the mentorships are just there. Okay, so anyways, if you want to know more about trading, you're in the right spot. And of course, let's start. But of course, before we start, I always want to say this, that um, education will always be the first step towards your trading career. Okay, so it's not easy to trade. It's not always it's not just you just clicking a button. It's not just you clicking a buy, or like online shopping, right? You can just buy, you can just sell. It's not that easy here in trading. So of course, if you really want to do trading, you have to appoint a time in yourself in order for you to learn how to trade. Okay, so of course, like I said a while ago, we will have a recap of what we have discussed yesterday, last Sunday. Okay, so of course, what we have discussed last Sunday was the evolution of money. So as we all know, there are different types of evolution of money. But of course, on this version, I want to focus on Bitcoin, or focus on trading. We're in during the time during the early BCs, the Stone Age, we are already doing trading. Okay, so if you're not quite familiar with it, we are already doing that, right? So it's what we call as the barter system, wherein during the time, the Stone Age is usually commodity money, wherein usually what people do is exchange stuff for another stuff, right? For goods, wherein they are exchanging from person A to person B. So like why do we usually start with this? Of course, this is actually one of the missions of BTC to get us back where we started. Okay, during the Stone Age, or during the early stages of humanity, as we all know that when people do transact, there is no middleman on it, right? So usually it's just person A to person B. It's not person A to person C, but it has to go to person B first in order to go to person C. Okay, so as we all know, during the evolution of money, trading has already been part of that sentiment. Okay, and of course, after commodity money, we had the metallic money, then money progress, and we enter the paper money, to which we are still using it. Okay, then of course, after paper money, we went to the plastic money, wherein plastic money was introduced to us to offer conveniency to a lot of people, right? But of course, plastic money still is part of central banks, central authorities, part of government. That's why we are introduced by the digital money. Okay, so digital money is not it's not really a change. It's actually part of the plan since then. Okay, so since then, digital money was already introduced to us, but we didn't know because we are not that we are not that familiar, or we are not that aware of what is happening around us. So during, of course, the digital money, how has it been introduced to us? That's where the evolution of internet came. Okay, so during the evolution of internet, as we all know, that the internet is the one who changed a lot of perspectives around us. Especially that the internet gave us the access to the information. So during even then during the evolution of internet, or during the start of internet, Web3 has already been part of the cycle. Okay, so as we see here, that the evolution of technology keeps on evolving. That's why what I always say to my students, that Web3 is an inevitable stage of life. Okay, so even if you're scared now to learn about Web3, there will come a time that you will learn about Web3. Because imagine, during web 1, it's just a static web, right? You can just read news, you can just read articles online. But a lot of people would actually didn't get involved in the internet because they are scared. Because during the time, I think computers are expensive, internets are expensive, or data is actually very expensive. That's why when the social web enter, wherein Facebook has entered, Instagram has entered, wherein you can already provide contents, you can already share your ideas with everyone or interact online. That's when a lot of people, even the older generation, have entered the internet space, right? So they are already starting to learn how to read news online, how to check their mail, how to check articles, right? So it's inevitable, right? Internet is inevitable, meaning when we switch to web 3, as you can see, older generation, or people who are afraid of change, or who are afraid of the internet, came to the social web already, right? So they have been introduced to Facebook, they have introduced to Instagram, they are now sharing their story, they are now vlogging whatever they are doing, they are sharing whatever they are doing now throughout the internet. So what am I saying here? That during the web 3, the introduction of web 3, it's inevitable for us to learn it. It's just how and when will you be entering web 3. So if I were you, as we all know, in the business sector, if you are the first one to create a product like this, or you are the first one to be or to enter this evolution, and you will be the one to do the risk, you will be the one to be rich, right? Because you are getting out of your comfort zone. That's how businessmen do, right? So same as with us, if I were you, try to learn about Web3, okay? Or try to learn with us through WeClass, all right? So, anyways, more of to that is, of course, during my previous video, we have introduced digital currency to you, to wherein I have introduced the father and the founder of Bitcoin, which is Satoshi Nakamoto. Like I said before, Satoshi Nakamoto is anonymous. We don't even know if it is a person, or a group, or a company, or a gang, or is just an alias. Okay, because Satoshi Nakamoto introduced to us the most powerful digital asset, which is Bitcoin. So Bitcoin is what we know as the peer-to-peer electronic cash system, which was introduced to us in order for with a vision and mission to cut off every middleman inside the network, right? So the good thing about Bitcoin is that it is under a decentralized network, wherein it is not actually controlled by anyone. But the good thing about Bitcoin, unlike fiat money, is that it has a limited amount of supply. Okay, so the total supply was 20 million. As of now, the publicized amount of Bitcoin is around 19 million. So, what happened to the 2 million? Of course, there is what we call as the mining. Okay, so mining, of course, this is how new Bitcoins are being generated. At the same time, the good thing about this is that it has halving way of protecting the limited amount of supply of Bitcoin. So if you don't know about it, try to check out my first video. Okay, as I said, Bitcoin is inside a decentralized network called as the blockchain technology. So as you can see here in the blockchain technology, blockchain deserves as a digital ledger that records numerous number of transactions every second, every millisecond. The good thing about blockchain technology is that it is transparent. Okay, it is transparent. Wherein it has different types of blockchain. Wherein it's either immutable records, it's either smart contracts, it's either a distributed ledger. Okay, so if you want to know about this, like I said, check my previous video on our live. Okay, so how does blockchain works? As you can see here, that every time you do a transaction, a newly generated coin is being produced. Okay, how is that? Of course, when a person will transact to person A to person B, the transaction will create a new block, wherein the new block will be distributed through the various of networks. And of course, during the distribution, there will be different types of validation and authorization of those blocks. Okay, so if those blocks will be solved, a new coin will be generated. Okay, that's how mining works. But of course, not all crypto asset undergoes mining. Some of them doesn't. Okay, um, check it on my previous video. So anyways, I've also introduced the alternative coins on my previous video. You may check it out. So in the introduction of alternative coins, of course, I've introduced and tell you that altcoins or alternative coins are alternative investments. But it doesn't mean that it's an alternative investment. It means that it's useless. So first of all, altcoins are other coins other than Bitcoin. So if there are coins other than Bitcoin, it is what you call as altcoin. So why are they alternative investments? Of course, with Bitcoin, it's not easy to buy it, right? It's not easy to buy it. You have to have at least around $40,000 to buy one Bitcoin. So of course, it's a blue chip, but of course, if you are trying to invest your $40,000, you want to diversify, right? So you go to other coins, which is actually cheaper than Bitcoin, right? But of course, even though it's alternative coins, it has usabilities and use case. So what are their use case? Is of course Bitcoin has a limited actions. It is just a means of payment. So in order for it to fulfill its mission and vision, alternative coin is there to fix the different limitations of Bitcoin. Okay, so they have their own use case, um, their own purpose inside the crypto space. That's why they are being introduced to us. Okay, so these altcoins is of course differentiated to different classifications. At the same time, with altcoins or cryptocurrencies, as I've said a while ago, altcoins usually has limited amount of supply. Unlike with the real money or the traditional money, it is unlimited. That's why with cryptocurrency, the good thing about here is that the value is appreciating. It's usually increasing. Okay, but of course it depends on the market or it depends on the demand. Okay, so as you heard, demand. Yes, Bitcoin is actually a supply and demand chain. Okay, so anyways, going to the classification, I've talked to you about DeFi coins. We have talked about DeFi coins as one of the classification of altcoins. Next is the proof of work, which is the mineable token, the proof of stake, which is the non-mineable token, and the NFT token, the metaverse token, which is I think the new classification of coins. Next is the stable coins. Stable coins are tokens or currencies that are used with a one is to one supply and demand. They are used to cancel out the volatility inside the market. Of course, we don't if you don't want volatility inside the market or you want to take your profit or you want to take or remain the value, you can convert your assets to stable coins. Okay? Then of course, we have the leverage tokens wherein leverage tokens are new leak tokens that are offered by exchanges. in order for people to hedge or to margin their trading investments. Okay, wherein you can earn whether the market's going down or earn whether the market is going up. Okay, so that is leverage tokens. Okay, so moving on to our lesson for today. So yes, we are just talking about the recap. So the lessons for today is of course the different types of exchanges. So what are these different types of exchanges that we have? Okay, so actually we have two types. Okay, so one of which is the centralized exchange. So centralized exchange are platforms that allow users to buy and sell cryptocurrencies for fiat currencies. So you are actually if you have like P8 peso or USD, you can actually use those money to buy cryptocurrencies. So centralized exchanges are making people life at crypto or Web3 easy, wherein they can buy and sell crypto assets easily and friendly. Okay, so usually centralized exchanges are known to be the most famous centralized exchange, of course, is Binance. Then, of course, we have Filipino centralized exchanges, which Coins PH, Coins Pro, PDAX, for international is BitGet, OKEx, right? So those are usually centralized exchanges. So with your centralized exchanges, they are usually your custodians, or they are the one who is safeguarding your crypto assets inside the digital space. Okay, so of course, like centralized exchanges, they have also their pros and cons. Okay, so with the advantage of using centralized exchanges is that first of all, it's a user friendly interface. And of course, it is easy to access, especially for beginners of crypto trading, because of course, it is a user-friendly interface. At the same time, of course, with the power of peer-to-peer transaction or P2P, the cash in and cash out of fiat crypto or fiat to crypto or vice versa made it easy. Okay, so like for example, you want to cash in or you want to buy cryptocurrency, it would be easy to buy on centralized exchanges because um, you may use P2P or you may use your cards, okay, your plastic cards to purchase cryptocurrency assets. Unlike, of course, with the other exchange, you have to buy and sell and transfer, right? So later we'll talk about that. So with of course with the disadvantage of centralized exchanges, having its central authority or central server, it is highly vulnerable to cyber attacks or hacking. Okay? At the same time, of course, in order for exchanges to earn, like any other e-wallets, they actually charge service fees. Okay? So usually service fees are usually charged during or when you are buying or selling your cryptocurrencies. Okay? So the more transactions you do, the more the charge fee is being deducted. But of course, the charge is actually super small or very small amount that even you cannot notice. Okay, so that's a good thing about crypto. Even though centralized exchanges charge service charges, it's not that too big. Okay, but at the same time, the disadvantage of these centralized exchanges is that it is controlled by a central entity. So even though we are in the decentralized DeFi space, if you're inside the centralized exchange, your money is still controlled by someone, okay, by a company, okay, but not the government. Okay. So, anyways, introducing to you the next type of exchange, which is the decentralized exchange. Okay, so decentralized exchange are non-centralized exchange in which no single entity is in charge of the assets. Okay, at and it is actually run through the smart contracts or decentralized applications. Okay, so the good thing about decentralized exchanges is that there is no central authority handling it. This is the vision of Bitcoin, wherein everything should be decentralized. Okay, so the famous decentralized exchanges, of course, PancakeSwap, SushiSwap, OneInSwap, right? So if you know those exchanges, those are actually decentralized exchanges. And the good thing about it is that the assets and the transparency is all out. Okay. So moving to the advantages and disadvantages, the advantages of your decentralized exchanges is that first of all, it's fully transparent. However, it's of course it is pseudo anonymous. What do I mean by pseudo anonymous is that even though it's transparent, they don't know people doesn't know who is the person transacting now or later. Okay, because of course, only people who know the wallet address of a person can only know who the person is transacting. Okay? But of course, if you know the wallet of a person or the wallet address of the person, you know that he is the person transacting that money. But of course, if you don't know, it's just wallet addresses. But the good thing about it is that you can see what is the money entering and what is the money going out. Okay, so you are tracking the inflows and outflows of assets. Okay, and the good thing about it is that every fee that is being charged to you, it is actually being provided to the liquidity providers, to the people. Okay, they are not being monopolized by exchanges. Okay, but of course, advantages have disadvantages with your decentralized wallet. The disadvantage of it is that um, trading fiat currency, or like for example you're buying your Philippine peso to USDT or Tether, it's actually not allowed. Unlike with centralized exchanges, it allows you to buy your local currency or fiat money into fiat currency. Okay, at the same time, the liquidity is very thin and large orders cannot be executed at once. Okay, but of course it's decentralized. But the good thing about it is that no one will check your money, or no one will check up on you every time you will withdraw a large amount of money. Okay? So stick to DeFi. That's what they say. Okay? So anyways, so if there are centralized exchanges, we should also know how digital currency is being made or created. Okay, so how is digital currency made? Okay, so that's the question. So where do digital currency usually starts? Usually, in order for a digital currency to be introduced inside the crypto space, there are different ways to introduce it to the market. Okay, so one of which is the ICO, or the initial coin offering. So initial coin offering is a method to raise funds for a project inside the crypto space, inside the ICO, it's the developer or founder who is introducing it directly to their customer or investors. Okay, so the disadvantage of ICO is that, of course, um, usually ICO nowadays is a scam, because of course not all projects or not all developers are really developers. So you have to do your diligence. Okay, because of course, if you do ICOs, and the problem here is that if um, those developers will run away, you have nothing to get or catch from them. Okay, because of course you're investing inside the digital currency. We're inside the digital space. There's no SEC, or there's no government protecting you. Okay? So just be careful when investing on ICOs. But of course, with ICOs, with having a high risk, becomes a high reward, because usually during ICO, this is the earliest stage wherein you can buy the asset, or you can buy a partial part of the company. Okay, or an equity share. Okay, but of course, if you are into ICO or seed sales, you can also consider the next one, which is the IDO, which is it's the initial DEX offering. So the difference between ICO and IDO is the spelling. No, 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 it's not the spelling. Okay, so the difference of ICO and IDO is that IDO is actually another method to raise funds. However, the decentralized exchange is the one vetting or validating or doing they are the marketing arm of the developer. So the good thing about IDOs is that the project have already been validated, have already been analyzed, have already been approved by these analysts. Okay, but of course, you still have to manage your expectations or manage your risk. You still have to do your own research. Okay, so even though it's safe, it's even though it's vetted by decentralized exchanges, it doesn't mean that it cannot be gone. Okay, so you have to always check those, because if you don't check those, you might fall into the wrong hands. Okay, so that's another. Second is, of course, what we call as the IEO. Okay, the initial exchange offering. So initial exchange offering, it's actually same with it's almost the same with IDO, because IEO and IDO are usually vetted by someone credible. Okay. But in IEO, of course, it is vetted by centralized exchanges. Okay, so usually your IEO are usually located on token launchpads. Okay, so if you see a launchpad, that is an IEO. Okay, so people are or developers or founders are selling the token inside an exchange, okay, to raise more funds for their development. Okay, so you can also rely on IEO or IDO. It's really up to you. Okay, so the good thing about IEO and IDO, it's safe. With ICO, you have to do your own research. But the good thing about it is that you are buying a part of a company during an ICO. During an IDO or IEO, usually you're just buying a partial amount of token based on your capitalization. Okay? So, um, to be more on detail on the evolution or the introduction of coin, or how is coin being listed inside an exchange, here's the series of steps on how coins are being introduced inside the digital space. Okay, so of course, first and foremost is that it will always start during a seed sale. Seed sale is usually like ICOs. So seed sale is actually a first step of accumulating and to kickstart a project. Okay, usually during this stage, they are seed funding around $10,000 to $50,000 in order for them to create a token contract, create the website, finance their marketing, or build the marketing team whatsoever. Okay, so usually during this time, it's actually the very earliest stage, but it's very rare that you can encounter this type of seed sale, because usually seed sales are now being offered to VCs or angel investors. Okay? Then of course, if you cannot enter the seed sale, you can enter the private sale, wherein during private rounds, usually nowadays it's being offered to some people or some people who knew that crypto project. Okay, so usually it's being done to close project backers, to close teams, to close users towards the crypto project. And according to a lot of people, private sale is the earliest sale that users can get. With seed sale, um, it's the earliest way of investors to invest in a company. Okay. Then of course, if you really haven't got into the private sale, you can enter the white listing or the white list. Okay. So usually white listing is like pre-sale. So before a public sale will do, they can raise funds in somehow a discounted price, and of course sell it to people who are interested to participate in the pre-sale round. But of course, if you haven't got into the whitelist yet, you may do the public sale, wherein you can buy those tokens from the centralized exchanges or some chosen centralized exchanges. Okay, so usually that's how the evolution of introduction of tokens. With the exchange listing, of course, it usually differs, because not all exchanges are offering free listing. Okay, some of them are asking for a payment or a fee in order for you to be listed at their exchange. Okay, because of course, if a token will be added to an exchange, it will be adding exposure, and it will be adding investors towards the people. Because of course, centralized exchanges nowadays are being competitive to each other. They are trying to get a hold of their own users and people. Okay? So that's how your exchange listing does. Okay? So anyways, talking about usabilities of tokens, before you invest in a token, you have to check their own use case. So how do you check or how will you know their use case? So I will teach you first. So first and foremost, one of the ways in order for you to check the use case of tokens, you may check the protocol token. So usually, with protocol tokens, the use case of this one is that it is actually launched through a decentralized application. Or usually, these are tokens by smart contracts or blockchains. So, like for example, for Ethereum network or ERC20, the token of ERC20 is Ethereum. The token of Binance Smart Chain is BNB. The token of the token of Polygon is Matic or Hedera. So if you know those guys, those have actually blockchain or they are actually decentralized applications. Okay. Next, and of course, this is one of the famous and new ones. It's the NFT token. So these are assets that are providing digital rights to non-fungible assets including works of arts. So usually with NFT tokens, it is actually involved with NFT games or play to earn sorry, NFT games, NFTs or NFT art. So usually if the token you're holding is being used or embedded through a NFT, that is actually an NFT token. So it is actually, if you bought the token, it is actually providing you the rights to own a non-fungible asset. Okay? So anyways, moving on is of course, we also have the stable and the payment tokens. So payment tokens are usually tokens that are primarily used for making payments. The good thing about payment tokens is that, of course, it's actually a huge amount of supply. So if you want to invest on payment tokens, you have to check how many projects or how many companies is using that token or coin. Okay, in order for you to know what is the demand, okay, in order for you to know the long-term futuristic value of that token. Okay, next, and of course, is the social tokens. Actually, I'm not quite familiar with social tokens because I haven't quite witness to see a social token. But anyway, social tokens are assets that are receiving access to communities, such as entrance to events or invitations or various community platforms. So one of example is Rally, Whale, FWP, and etc. If you have this type of tokens, please comment down below and tell me the experience of having a social token. Okay, because I haven't heard of it actually. I haven't tried to buy one social token. Okay, so anyways, next one is the governance tokens. Governance tokens are usually tokens being introduced or invented in order for people to have a voting right. So it's like a common stock or preferred stock, wherein if you buy that type of token or if you have a bulk number of those token, you actually have a voting right or you have the right to participate in a voting in the future development of the project. Okay, one of the example is of course Chili's, Dash, Ave, Maker, and many more. Okay, you can research on that. Next is, of course, we also have the asset-backed tokens. Asset-backed tokens are usually tokens that have real asset value or actually being liquidified by real assets inside the real world. Okay, so usually these tokens are backed up by gold, by real estate lands, gems, or whatever value or whatever physical asset that is valuable. So usually that's how asset-backed tokens are. So usually with asset-backed tokens, to be honest, it's actually one of the safest investments because their liquidity is solidified. So besides their initial liquidity, they have their own real asset values. Okay, so you can check out about asset-backed token. So, anyways, since I've also introduced you to the usability and how markets are made, of course, we have to also talk about the different types of trading or how do I trade? What is my strategy in trading? Okay, so first and foremost, we have to start with the basic and the first ever type of trading. So there are actually two. Okay, so first is of course the manual trading. So manual trading are usually a type of trading wherein you are performing market analysis at your own, scans the entire market, you're analyzing it on your own basis or ideas. But the problem with your manual trading is, of course, it involves your emotions. But of course, with emotions you can actually with the proper emotions and a disciplined mind, you can actually have a full control and formulate your own trading analysis, okay, and have the capacity to check and learn on the mistakes through your losing trades, and it's more fun actually. But of course you have to check it first, okay. And of course with manual trading, it requires a substantial amount of trading knowledge and experience. So you have to learn about trading, the in-depth or advanced way to do trading in order for you to be involved on manual trading. Okay, so the different types of manual trading is, of course, what we call as the position trading. So, positional trading, this is a buy and hold strategy that does not actively trade in the market. So, usually, position trading are long-term investments. So, it's like buy and hold. Okay? The advantages and disadvantages of your positional trading is that it is less stressful, of course, because you are not riding the ups and downs of the market. Usually it's long term, it usually takes years. But of course, it is also easy to trade with lesser risk involved because you are holding it for long term. Even if it goes down, even if the discount will go 50%, you don't care because it's long term, right? It's your extra money. But of course, it would require you a high or long technical analysis because you have to predict the future market. Because why do you have to check, or you have to check the higher or the future prediction of those crypto assets? Um, because it doesn't mean that you are positional trading. You have to, like, hold the token for a year or two or what. You should know when to buy and when to sell. Okay, that's the perfect positional trading. Because if you are like buying on a 90% discount premium, then of course you will have a great profit. Wherein let's say the margin will go to the moon for around like 300 to 400% profit increase, then it's good, right? So you have to sell so that at least on the next time that it will have a 90% discount, then you can buy again. You can buy more and sell more in the future. Okay? So that's position trading. Oh, sorry, swing trading. Sorry. Next is, of course, we have what we call as, oh, sorry, position trading. Next is, of course, we have what we call as the day trading. With the day trading is, of course, you are trading during the day. So the good thing about day trading is that you are actually maximizing your position, wherein you are seizing the immediate volatility of the market. You are playing with the volatility of the market, and at the same time, you have the lesser risk of liquidation because of yours. You are really checking your position. You're just sitting down there, trading, drinking your coffee, right? Drinking beer. So it's up to you. But of course, the disadvantage is that it requires more attention, okay, to execute. And of course, it requires substantial amount of trades during the day. And next is, of course, another type of strategy is the swing trade. Swing trades are usually a short to mid-term type of trading wherein it usually takes hours to days in order for you to execute a position. So usually swing trades are usually done by advanced traders, those people who can predict the future price or the future or the next few days price of the token. Okay, because usually swing trade they are managing the risk, they are really doing the analysis quite good, and at the same time they are of course having a good they have already experience and knowledge of crypto trading. So the advantages of your swing trade is of course it can be done when the traders is free of duty. At the same time, it has higher potential for larger returns or loss on trades. Okay, so that's the problem with swing trade. So it has a larger returns because you can maximize the position, or if you don't use your stop loss, you might lose a lot during the trade. Okay, so because you're doing it for a long term, or of course, there are funding fees that you have to pay. Pay. Okay. Next is of course what we call as the scalping. So scalping is actually very famous strategy. This is actually a hit and run strategy wherein you're just buying and selling crypto assets in just minutes or seconds. Okay. So the good thing about scalping is that usually um, you can avoid the volatility of the market and avoid the pumps and dumps because you are getting in and getting out is very fast. Okay, so actually with scalping, it usually requires a lot of transactions or a lot of trades during the day. That's why the disadvantage, of course, is the higher transaction fee, accumulated transaction fee, of course. Then, of course, it requires a huge amount of capital so that, of course, you can really feel the money you are scalping. Okay, because usually scalping you're just getting around 5 to 10% margin profit. Okay, you're unlike with swing trade or with day trade, you're getting around 50 to 100% margin profit. Okay, of course, if we have the different types of trading, there are the different types of analysis of manual trading. Okay, so the first type of analysis of manual trading is the well-known technical analysis. So we will actually go deeper on that on the next lessons. But of course, to introduce technical analysis is actually an analysis based on your indicators as your confluences. So if you're using technical indicators or these indicators made to make you read the market, those are technical analysis. Or if you're doing chart patterns, you're doing Elliott wave, you're doing harmonic patterns, those are usually termed to be technical analysis. Okay? Then, of course, we have the next one, which is the fundamental analysis, wherein this is analysis based on the current events, okay, or the current news happening to a token. Like, for example, there will be a token burn, they will be lessening the supply, there will be world war, there will be a war. Those usually are fundamental analysis, including the economic announcement like CPI, Fed news, like that. Okay, so usually those are fundamental analysis. Next is of course the second one, which is the new one. Actually, is the sentimental analysis. Sentimental analysis is a hype based type of analysis wherein if there's a lot of demand, you can buy now, and if the hype is going out, you can go out of the market. So usually, sentimental analysis is being used when buying and selling NFTs. Okay, so when you are buying and selling NFTs, usually sentimental analysis is being used. Okay, then of course we have another analysis which is a bad habit. Actually, this trading habit shouldn't actually be used when you are actually trading because it might let you lose a lot of money, and of course it may criticize your judgment every now and then. So if I were you, try to avoid this type of analysis when doing trading. Okay, so the bad thing about emotional analysis, of course, it usually crimples your judgment upon trading. Okay, so don't do your emotion. Do not do emotional trading. As we always say, trade like a robot, whereas there is no emotions around. Because you will really lose a lot of money if you do emotional analysis. And of course, to end this discussion, before we end this discussion, let me introduce to you the second type of trading, which is the automated trading. Okay, so this is a program type of trading wherein trading bots or AI are the one executing your trades for you. Okay, so usually these are a technique or a way for you to get your life easier with trading. But of course, in order for you to know about automated trading, you have to also still learn about the basics of trading in order for you to know whatever you will do with your automated trading. Okay, so one of the advantages of automated trading is that all trades are executed emotionless. So this is really the passage that goes in trade like a robot. Okay, so the with automated trading is, of course, it's um, the bots are trading for you. Right? And of course, it doesn't require full attention to market. You can just leave your money to the bot, and the bot will take care of you along the way. Okay, so that's a good thing about what do you call this? That's a good thing about trading bots. Okay, but of course, it also involves risk. The trader must know the program or know how to program the bot in order for it to adapt with the current market condition, of course. Right? But because sometimes with bots, if it's too volatile, it usually doesn't work. Okay? So we actually end the topic to that. I hope you learn a lot of lessons. I hope you learn a lot of ways on how to trade, the different strategies, how tokens are invented or how tokens are introduced to the market. The evolution of money, that. And of course, I hope you are getting those lessons, because on the next few days or the next few classes that we will have, of course, we will already be talking about trading itself. Okay, wherein I will be introducing to you the interface of Binance. Okay, or we can do other exchanges. Just let me know. You can also sponsor this event. Okay, but anyways, we will be teaching you how to trade and how to check those interfaces or how to use those interfaces. Okay, so once again, before I end, I want to thank again WizG for sponsoring us to have this to make this event happen. And of course, I want to say that try to check out WizG. Try to check out the WizG platform. It's w3gg.io. Okay, try to check out our platform. Register now, do your KYC, and play the free games that we are giving away. If you're from the Philippines, let me know. Please connect with us and join our Filipino community, because we have a lot of projects, or we have a lot of activities prepared for you guys. Okay? So if you want to know more about WizG, please do visit our website or join our social media, or join our daily events like AMA, podcasts, game nights, week class, or activities online of WizG. Okay? So try to check out WizG and try to know more about trading through the week class. Okay? So once again, guys, I'm Coach Aldrin of WizG. I always say this. Always invest on your education, because it will always be the first step towards your trading career. Okay, so thank you guys. Have a nice day, and happy weekend, and have a meaningful week along ahead. Okay, so see you guys. Bye bye.
VGG! VGG! VGG!
WXP is our unique XP point that can be used as credit to purchase merchandise on our platform. You can earn WXP by participating in activities such as quests, events, and tournaments on the platform. You can check your task by clicking on your Tasks tab to complete the task and claim a reward. You can check your WXP by clicking on your profile picture at the top right corner. WXP can be used to purchase items on our marketplace at w3gg.io/marketplace. More items will be available in the future. That's not all. Stay tuned for more exciting updates in the future.